Hello students, in the previous class we learned what are exogenetic processes and the two main exogenetic processes that are responsible for the changing surface of the earth are weathering and gradation. So in the last class we learned what is weathering and the types of weathering. Today let us learn what is gradation, and the main agent of gradation is a river, and let us also see what are all the work done by a river. First, let us see what is gradation. Gradation is the process of leveling of the land by means of natural agents like rivers, groundwater, winds, glaciers, and sea waves. Gradation is the process of leveling of the land by means of these natural agents. The high lands are made low by erosion or wearing away, and the low lands are raised by adding the eroded material by the process of deposition. In spite of the fact that gradation has continued for thousands and thousands of years, the land has not got leveled. This is because there is constant earth movement which raises mountains and plateaus, and therefore gradation is a continuous process and is the process of removing unevenness of the land surface and making it a level land. Agent of gradation or, as we saw earlier now, rivers, that is running water, wind, glacier, waves, and even underground water. Gradation can be of two types, degradation and aggradation. Degradation or denudation is the wearing down of the land surface by various natural agents. Degradation in geology is the process of the lowering of a fluvial surface, that is a river bed, basin, watershed, or floodplain by means of erosion. An example includes rivers becoming deeper by sediment being eroded away from the bottom surface. Aggradation is nothing but building up of landforms due to natural agents. So we can say that gradation is equal to erosion plus transportation plus deposition. So now we are going to see about the running water, river. River is one of the very important agent of gradation. The river carries three types of work: erosion, transportation, and deposition. The work of running water, that is rivers, is the most extensive among all other agents of gradation. Rivers originate on higher landforms like mountains, hills, plateaus that receive water from various sources like glaciers, rain, springs, lakes, etc. Place where the river originates is called its source, and where it joins the sea is called mouth. This place is called as the mouth of a river. The river has three courses, namely upper course, middle course, and lower course. We can also call it in a different way. The life of a river has three stages. The upper course is the young stage of a river, middle course is the middle age, and lower course is the old age of a river. Now let us see about the upper course. In the upper course, the erosion is the most dominant action of a river in the upper course, and we can rather say that the vertical erosion is most dominant here. In this course, a river usually tumbles down the steep mountain slopes. The steep gradient, that is the slope of the land, increases the velocity, and the river channel performs erosion with great force to widen and deepen its valley. What are the land features carved by a river in its upper course? They are V-shaped valleys, canyons, gorges, rapids, potholes, and spurs. And later, when we study about the different landforms created by the erosional action of the river, we'll be studying in detail how these landforms are being formed. Middle course. The river enters the plain in its middle course. The volume of water here increases with the confluence of many tributaries, and thus increases the load of the river. Thus, the predominant action of a river here is transportation, transporting the materials from one place to another place. Deposition also occurs due to the sudden decrease in velocity. So, in the upper course of the river, the dominant action of a river is erosion, whereas in the middle course, the predominant action is transportation, and to some extent deposition also occurs. And since the water from all the tributaries join the main river, here in the middle course, the volume of the river is maximum. The river in the middle course develops some typical landforms like alluvial fan. This is the alluvial fan, the cone-shaped or fan-shaped landform. Here, the sediments brought down by the river from the source, they are deposited at the foothills in a conical shape. And this area is called as alluvial fan. And the other landform formed is floodplain. And floodplain is an area of land adjacent to a stream of a river which stretches from the banks of its channel to the base on the enclosing valley walls and which experiences flooding during periods of high discharge. So this is the normal course of the river. During the rainy season, the river is flooded and the water overflows on the both banks and it extends to some level. And when the rain stops and the water recedes back, and the sediments deposited by the river is settled down on both the sides, and this occurs every year. And thus the floodplains are formed on both the banks of the river. And the next one is lower course. The river moving downstream across a broad level plain is loaded with the debris brought down from its upper and middle courses. Large deposits of sediments are found at the level bed, and the rivers splits into a number of channels called distributaries. So the different branches that form a major river is called as a tributary, which occurs in the upper course, and these tributaries are formed in the lower course. The main work of the river here is deposition, and it develops typical landform like delta and estuary. So here we can see the different parts of a river. The place of its origin is called as source. Different tributaries that join the main stream of a river. The different branches that form the main stream of a river is tributaries. Tributaries do not end into the sea. And this is the main trunk or main stem of the river. And these S-shaped curves are called as meanders, which we'll be studying later. And here the sediments brought down by the rivers are deposited at the lower course near the mouth. And again, they are split into different branches, which are called as distributary. This is the difference between tributaries and distributaries. A small river joining the large river is called as tributary. At the lower course, when the large river breaking into small river is called as distributary. And these are formed in mountains from glaciers, lakes, etc. Distributary is formed by a large river. And this tributary occurred at the upper course or at the younger stage of the river, whereas this distributary occurs in the lower course, that is the old stage of a river. And this tributary does not change the course of a river, whereas the distributaries often change the course of the river and form delta. An example for tributary, we can say Yamuna, even Bhagirathi is the tributary of river Ganga, Gandak, Kosi, Gagra, etc. They are the tributaries of river Ganga. And Sundarban Delta, which is formed by distributaries of Ganga and Brahmaputra. Hooghly River is one of the major distributary of river Ganga. Yes. So this is the source, upper course, middle course, and lower course. And this gradient represents the slope of the land. In the upper course, the slope is very steep, whereas the middle course less steep. You have many ups and downs here. And in the lower course, it is gentle and almost flat. And the speed of the river is very, very fast, high speed in the upper course, because it flows from the higher slope to the lower elevation. So naturally, it is very fast. And in the middle course, because of it, the sediments and the load carried down, it becomes slower. And when it reaches the lower course, this becomes slowest. And the volume of water at the source, it is comparatively low. And in the middle course, higher. And in the lower course, highest. And the shape of the channel is V-shaped in upper course, U-shaped in middle course, and wide U-shaped in the lower course. Now, the work of the rivers are erosion, transportation, and deposition. Let us see now the different erosional landforms of a river. Gorges and canyons, waterfall, V-shaped valley, potholes, meander, and oxbow lake. These are all the different erosional landforms of a river. Now let us see what are gorges and canyons. When the river flows through a mountainous region made up of hard rocks, it forms a valley with almost vertical sides called gorges. In India, deep gorges have been formed by Brahmaputra and Indus in Himalayas. A deep gorge with steep sides that runs for hundreds of kilometers is referred as canyon. Example, Grand Canyon of the River Colorado in USA. This is the Indus Gorge and this is the Grand Canyon of the River Colorado in USA. Now you can see the difference between gorge and canyon. Here it has sloping sides and this erosional river of this Indus River has formed this gorge which is little wider and also it has sloping sides. Here this canyon, it has steep sides, steep walls on its side and also it extends for a very long distance. This is the difference between gorge and canyon. And waterfall, the other landform is waterfall. When a river flows in a region where hard rocks lie over soft rocks horizontally like this, the soft rocks, they get eroded fastly or quickly and the hard rock, it projects outwards. And here the water, when the water flows down from a height, the force of the water is high and the erosion is also little faster or it is higher. So here a depression is formed and this is called as plunge pool. The river falls vertically from a steep slope to form a waterfall here. Since the soft rock has been eroded, when the water falls with great force, it erodes the rock material beneath and creates a depression called as a plunge pool. Shallow, fast-flowing water in a stream is called a rapid or river jumps. The highest waterfalls in the world is Angel Falls, which is in Peninsula, South America. The highest waterfall of India is Jog Falls, that across River Shravati in Karnataka. Now the next landform, erosional landform formed by the work of a river is V-shaped valley. A V-shaped valley is formed by the vertical erosion of the river where the valley is deepened and widened here. The river uses its load to cut down into the bedrock causing vertical erosion. And the loosened materials because of the erosion is washed into the river, increasing the load and for the ability to erode. With time, the river directs its energy into eroding the valley laterally. The whole process then repeats. Due to the river action, cylindrical holes are drilled vertically in the riverbed with varying depth and diameter, which are called as potholes. The swelling action of the water and bed load fall into slight depression and turn into a cylindrical hole called as pothole. As the river loaded with the debris flows slowly, it forms sweeping loops and bends like this in the middle course. These are the sweeping loops and bends. And these S-shaped curves are called as meanders. These S-shaped curves are called as meanders. And what is Oxbow Lake? Meanders in due course of time become almost a complete circle with narrow necks. This in turn gets abandoned and forms a lake called as Oxbow Lake. And this picture explains clearly the formation of Oxbow Lake. Here, the continual erosion on these two outside bends of the river means the meander neck it brings it closer. The erosion in the outer neck of this meander neck, it brings the two sides, the two necks closer like this. So now the neck is becoming narrower. And when it becomes narrow and narrow, at one stage eventually, normally during the flood, when the level of water or the flow of water increases, the river cuts through the neck and flows across it instead of going into the meander itself. The original meander is then blocked off due to the deposition to leave an oxbow lake here. So this is oxbow lake. Lake Kanwar in Bihar is Asia's largest freshwater oxbow lake. See how big it is. And the world's largest oxbow lake is Lake Chicot, which is in Arkansas of USA. Now let us see the depositional landforms of rivers. A fan-shaped deposition made by the river at the foothill is called as an alluvial fan. Floodplain. What is a floodplain? So this is the normal condition of a river or the normal course of a river. And during the rainy season, the river is flooded with water. So the water level increases and the extent of the water is increased. The flow of the extent of the water is increased on both the sides. And when the rain stops, again the water recedes and it becomes a normal course. And it leaves the sediments brought down by the river on the both sides. And this process continues over the years and the floodplains are formed. The fine sediments are deposited on river banks when a river floods. And these sediments make the region rich and fertile. Levees, water levees. As the height of the river banks gets increases due to continuous deposition of flooded river, levees are formed. So the raised land on both the banks of a river is called as levees. So this is before the flood, and during the flood, thickest and coarsest sediments deposited at the edge, channel edges, and after many floods, the levees built up by many floods on the both the banks. These are called as levees. Estuaries. Now let us see what are estuaries. Estuary is formed where the river meets the sea. It is nothing but the mouth of a river. Deposition of silt by the river is not possible here in the estuaries like delta, since the waves keep on eroding the deposits. So here the deltas could not be formed because of the continuous erosional work of the waves. Example, river Narmada and Tapti. These two rivers do not form deltas in India. This is delta and this is estuary. So when the sediments are deposited by the rivers and when the main river, because of the deposition, splits into different branches called as distributaries, the sediments, the triangular shape of sediments that are formed in between the distributaries is called as delta. When the deltas are not formed because of the continuous erosional work of the waves at the mouth of the river, this place is called as estuary. A triangular shaped low-lying area formed by the river at its mouth is called delta. Deltas have fine deposits of sediments enriched with minerals. Example, Kaveri Delta of Tamil Nadu. And we all know that Sundarban Delta formed by Ganga Brahmaputra rivers is the largest delta of the world.